pretty sure we had a ghost in our house, and my dog barked at it. I didn't believe it was a ghost, though my husband felt chills on occasion. Then my dog would sit and bark. Then our neighbor told us about the couple who built the house and lived in it for 60 years. After the husband passed away, his wife set up a shrine of pictures of him, his chair, and things in the front corner of our living room, exactly where my dog always barked, in the side of the couch my husband sat on. That went on rarely for about 2 years or so. Then I saw a silhouette for a moment, did a double take, and it was gone. Neither my husband or dog felt anything after that, so I think it left. It's probably a critter or odd light or airflow, but I admit I now believe in ghosts, and my emotionally feeling dog was the only one who ever reacted to it. I have a 7-month-old puppy, a border collie. He usually doesn't bark, and his bark is high-pitched, so it doesn't scare anyone. But tonight, at around 3 a.m., I woke up to my dog barking, but in a scary way. I think he was in fear because he yawned for every 2 seconds while barking and growling. He was sitting right before the door of my bedroom and didn't want to come inside when I called him. I called to him and checked if everything was okay, but he didn't want to come. Then he started looking at my window and under my bed. The window was closed and he couldn't see outside, and there's nothing under my bed. It was a slow bark, super low, like he was trying to scare something. Here in my country, there's a belief that animals know more about things around more than us humans. There's been stories of animals, such as dogs, being able to predict the death of a person, a passing spirit, or a whole lot of other worldly beings. One such story occurred after my grandfather's funeral. According to my cousin, they had noticed dogs in our neighborhood were suddenly howling loudly at something passing on the street in front of our house. Since it was already late when it happened, my cousin had difficulty looking at what the dogs were howling at. Their heads fixed at some invisible force passing in the pitch black until my cousin finally saw it on a light at the end of our street. He saw our neighbor who died years prior, my grandmother's funeral, wearing the same clothes the day our neighbor was buried. He was so spooked at the time that he wasn't able to tell it to others until the next morning. We moved into our first home in May. It was built in 2006. We haven't heard about any deaths on the property, but given the location, I'm sure it has some history. Large acreage with a small old house also on the property. The first building on the property was built a long time ago. Obviously that small house is creepy, and we don't go in there. The newer house that we live in feels fine. Just recently, within the last 2 months, our dogs have been getting spooked by something. On a few occasions, they've barked at the front door by the living room. It's definitely weirding us out, but we don't think much of it. But last night, one of the dogs woke up in her sleep, and when I stopped staring at the corner of our bedroom, it's freaked me out at this point, as I know dogs can sense things humans can't. But I stay calm. This is the first time I've heard her growl, and she's using her big girl bark. She sits on the bed next to me and continues to trace something with her eyes, right to left, and on the floor by my nightstand. I thought she may have had a bad dream. Maybe she got scared, but when she continued to do this for 30 minutes, I was worried. I never saw anything. I didn't feel a dark presence, and I never heard anything to spook me. I would try to catch an EVP. It's a recorded sound, like a whisper or short phrase. But if I catch something, I will not be able to sleep there. I don't want to give it attention to let it know I'm scared. Yep, I'll probably stage the house. Or I forgot to mention, the previous owner's kid, well, she's in college now, mentioned that they had a priest that blessed the guest house because they saw a little boy or caught his apparition on camera. I have no clue if it's true or not, but I'm thinking about doing some research on the property. When I was a child, my parents bought an old pub in a tiny village. It was a grade 2 listed building. I had two border collies at the time, and from the first day we moved in, those dogs would never go in the second bar or the cellar. They just would lie in the doorway, whining or growling. Odd things happened there. The cleaner said someone always unplugged the Hoover in there while she was working. The door used to bang in early hours, and when we were due to move, we couldn't open a single door, not even a fire exit or a window. This went on for hours. Those dogs knew there was someone there. After we left, my parents told me that one night they had about 8 persons in there finishing their drinks before they closed, and everyone, including my parents, saw a full-body apparition of a woman in the second bar.